slight overlay that I'd had on energy, what did I call it? Preservation, energy preservation, you know? And even when I came back, I flew all the way back from India, which is like on the total opposite side of the world, you know, from here in the States. So it was, I don't know, like a 10 to 12 hour flight to Japan, and then a 10 to 12 hour flight here to the States. And normally I would just think, well, I'd need to rest for a couple of days after that. But I was asked by my friends in Japan if I would do an online event the night after I got back, because that was their Saturday. And they said, oh, we can do it, you know, a few days later if that's better. And I just prayed and I heard, no, just do it. Just say yes. Like, this is the next invitation from the Spirit. And so just straight off this huge big flight, and then the next night, you know, online event, loved it, so happy, we were all in the glory. And then I woke up the next morning at 3 a.m, because the times are a little upside down. And then it turned out that I was going to be on Kristen's show at 9 o'clock the next morning. And just that, like the rolling with the Spirit's invitations and rolling with that flow. And I could just feel it's the same feeling. This is the opposite of littleness. It's the opposite of judgment. It's the opposite of letting any human consciousness lead the way and make the decisions. You know, let it just keep coming from the miracle. I just want to say yes to you. I just want to be in your flow. You know, show me. Make it obvious. Invite me. Keep inviting me. And let me not have any block in my mind of time or, you know. So it feels very inspiring. Very, very inspiring.
Beautiful. Well, just as Kirsten's describing this this magnitude, let's do it right now. I love these Zooms because they're so interactive and participative. And here we are, we're all stepping into magnitude, but you're stepping towards something and you're stepping from something. And I want to hear from you where you are experiencing yourself right now, because we are going to step into the magnitude from wherever you seem to be or whatever you are perceiving. And that is the purpose of this. It's fun. I remember one time I was traveling around, and some woman knew that I was traveling near her town, so she called me up on my cell phone. She said, come, I'll meet you at the Pizza Hut restaurant on like 4th Street. Just take this exit and I'll meet you there. I've never met you before, but I'm so glad I got a hold of you. And then, so we sat there in the booth in Pizza Hut, and she looked over at me and she said, what are you experiencing right now? And I said, everything. I said, can you feel it? The whole universe is with us right now. And her eyes got real big. And she did, she felt it. Because I was feeling it, and she was right across from me, and that's the vastness of this. So here we are, we've gone through maybe about half of our night, but why don't we open it up, and if you feel to raise your hand as part of your prayer of expanding into the magnitude right now, and start from, if there's anything that's troubling your heart, if there's anything that's weighing on you, if there's anything that you feel is holding you back from this or keeping you down, remember, our purpose is to step into the magnitude and trust that we will be given exactly what we need to hear, exactly what is needed for us to draw forth the kingdom of heaven right here and right now. So let's open it up and see what we've got going on here.
Okay, off the top, Sylvia raised her hand. Go ahead, Sylvia.
I raised my hand last time. That was the first time, and it was I'm so glad that I did that. There was a real shift after that. I don't know what happened. I don't need to know what happened, but there really was a shift. And my longing to really be guided by Jesus, I'm so motivated. I'm here. I mean, it was 2:00 in the morning here, but I am here. I'm so grateful. And thank you, David, when I have a prayer, and I always start with the Serenity Prayer. And after that, there's something else from the 12 step. And lately I added some of the prayers of the course. I'm working on it. I'm not used to pray, so I'm working on it. And now you gave me, God, grant me the vastness and the grandness of who I am. I think that's something you said. I'll hear it back on Spreaker. Thank you. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful. And again, I thank you, Kirsten, for looking into the camera. That is so, I don't know, it's like you're in my living room. But somehow David's camera is not standing the way that you can look straight up in the camera, but it's so... I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I felt it. Did you feel that? We all went into the magnitude with Sylvie. It was amazing. It just the first one, boom. It was amazing.
Okay, up next is Carly. Go ahead, Carly.
Yeah, hi. I just recently took a step into greater trust. You could say I have been living kind of as a poor person or whatever in this life. Like, I wasn't making much money, and in addition to that, I wasn't even reporting all of it on some forms and stuff, and I was getting like government aid for food and healthcare costs, and it was coming up again for my renewal for the form to fill out again, and I just couldn't not put everything down, this time. I just really had to be honest about it, and I took this new job and I'm making more money, and so I have this fear like it's going to take all those benefits away, and then we're not going to have enough and everything. But I just did the form like the other day, and so I feel like I just stepped into something that I haven't been able to do for like the last, I don't even know how many years I've been doing it wrong, or just like not putting everything there. And I mean, I was declaring stuff like that normal people probably wouldn't even put down. I mean, I was like, I had to clear it. Like, I had to put everything, like even some cash that my kids get for cleaning my dad's office. Like, I'm putting it down, like I just couldn't not do that. And so that was one thing that's happened for me recently. And then taking this new job, I'm working with like children that are like really like mentally challenged and like totally out of control. Like, they bite and throw their desk down and all this stuff. And I mean, going into the job, I did not know it was going to be like this. They don't tell you, of course, because no one would probably take the job in the first place. But so I'm into this job, and I was really been struggling. And on my breaks, like, I'm like crying in the bathroom, and it's just been really difficult. And so like with that, like, it's interesting. I'm just like seeing it for like, what is this showing me? And I think it maybe hit me today more than before. It's like with them, you have to be super clear and very concise. And it's like, sit down, then you get a toy, you know? It's like you don't mess around. Like the communication is like very direct and very clear. You can't say like, okay, right now we're not doing that, and then we're going to do this. It's like just very direct. So anyway, I just feel like all these highlights are coming up for me, like as far as like with my mind training, like I got to get strong in my mind and like be clear and like decide, you know, I can't be like waffling around all the time and all this stuff. So yeah, I feel like this magnitude theme is coming up for me, and like, don't believe like you're supported by money or the government. That's not like where your source is, you know, like stuff like that. And yeah, so just so much has been coming up for me, but like throughout the day, I just lose track of things a lot. And so my prayer is just really like for the Spirit, just help me like remember my true self, like what this is about, and like if kids are acting out or whatever, help me to see through that. Help me to see like what's underneath it, you know, like help me to see them and their light and as my mighty companions and just pure, not guilty of anything, you know, not separate from me, not wrong, and that I can't mess up either. So all these themes are like running for me. I feel actually overwhelmed by all the themes, you know, that are happening for me right now. So yeah, I just feel like I'm continuing to ask just to feel that support. Just joining. I just need it right now. So yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Carly. That's beautiful. We feel it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Awakening to True Happiness with modern-day mystic David Hoffmeister. You can access more of David's teachings by visiting his website at davidhoffmeister.com. Tune in to David again next week on Evolutionary Voices for the Quantum Age, heard Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern on the Dream Vision 7 radio network.